As City of Hamilton staff work to lower the 2024 budget, there's been some confusion around the total for policing in Hamilton. According to Ward 2 City Councillor Cameron Kretsch, the total police budget that was calculated last week, roughly $213 million, didn't include capital cost that the city is required to cover for policing. Manisa Danabalan joins us live now to break this all down for us. Hi, Manisa.
Hey, Taz. Those requirements actually bring the total police budget to roughly $214 million. Both councillors and Hamilton's police board say it was a result of miscommunication as well as a difference in the way the budget is formatted. Cameron Kretsch says the total police budget that council saw last week, roughly $213 million, a 10.24% increase from last year, was actually incorrect. Hamilton's police board pointed out that the total is actually $214 million, which is an 8.41% increase from last year.
I think what caused the confusion is that for a long time now, we've been looking at what the police board asks for in terms of an increase, but not considering the total costs of policing. And so there are some amounts for policing that are already in the city's budget that are kind of loaded in there already before the police ask comes forward.
The $213 million that was assumed as the total before didn't include capital costs for policing, fees that the city is required to cover that are separate from the board's operation budget.
Capital costs are equipment, buildings, things like that. The new 911 system, anything capital related, roof repairs, things like that.
Those capital costs were reported separately from the operating budget, which caused some confusion and ended with the wrong total in council last week.
What we do is we consider those assumptions in the city's budgeting process, and we put them in there. We're not asking the police to come forward and ask for them because they're not required to under legislation.
Kretsch, Councillor John Paul Danko, and the police board all say it was just a miscommunication.
Where the numbers come from, I don't think it really matters. We have the number. We know what it is. Council will now know what it is and know what the increases are. And so we'll go from there and we'll discuss.
They also want to avoid this kind of confusion in the future. Kretsch is hoping that for the 2025 budget, the two costs could appear as a total sum so that the full amount for policing is clear. Kretsch and Danko say both the city and police board following the same format would also help.
I think it's just some discrepancies between what the format the police were reporting in versus the format that was being reported to council, and therefore how we were communicating with residents. So again, I think it is important that we're reporting both the same way and that we're communicating the same numbers to the public right from the very beginning.
Danko adds that he would also like to see the total amount in the future so that they can discuss the remainder after the capital costs are subtracted. The Hamilton Police Board will hold a special meeting on February 13th regarding the budget, and it will be live streamed.